Good morning, good morning. Gonna do some salvage ops today. See, we got our little mole in here, and I think we're gonna do some lovely CMAT. Alright, we are good on water. Nah, we don't need to. I'm not too worried about fighting today. I think we should be good. So, alright. Let's see what missions we got popping. 400i. Aries. Where's this? Arc L3? Let's go for a 400 here. I'll say this, that spool up of the moth engines. The audio team has really been stepping up their game lately. Alright. Should be getting close. Ooh, let's see if we can jump straight to the salvage. That is a really long quantum jump for a 400i. Holy cow. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to sit in quantum travel for a moment. I think like the quantum travel is an interesting topic of where people are like, okay, there's no loading screens in Star Citizen. Obviously, I can get out of my seat and I can move around my ship. And there's always this argument in the community that's like, okay, it's kind of a loading screen, right? You're just traveling forever and ever and ever, and depending on what quantum drive you have, you can shorten or lengthen that time, which I guess for me makes it not a loading screen per se. I mean, I think of it in terms of like when it comes to combat. So when it comes to combat, like you need these jump times because the last thing you want is like you're in combat and a player comes and you're doing some ops with your team or whatever, you blow up an enemy and then he goes and claims a ship and then 10 seconds later he's back. And I think that's the buffer that you need with these quantum travel times that stops people from like insta traveling right back to your location, where it becomes where, okay, you took this guy down, you worked as a team, and now you have some breathing room because he's got to go get his ship and claim it, and then he's got to make the quantum travel back. So it gives you like that bit of time, and then you got the other half that's like, okay, we're just sitting here, like it's so boring, like so many people like don't play the game or don't turn the game off because you're just sitting here in your ship and just chilling. And I guess it gets pretty boring for a lot of folk. It is very boring. It's Star Citizen is getting like trying to figure out this balance between hardcore sim and not hardcore sim, so it's a bit different. But I don't know. My opinion is right now I'm like 50-50. I wish they were a little bit shorter, especially like in places like Pyro. I think a lot of people don't go to Pyro because it just takes forever to get to places. You're constantly just in quantum and refueling and stuff like that. So I'm really curious about how they finish tweaking the balances in 4.9 to, are we going to get that lower fuel with the lower consumption rate? So maybe they can just adjust the consumption rate to where we can travel a lot further. Because right now with like an upgraded drive in my Titan, for example, I can barely make it. I cannot make it right now in 4.8.3. I cannot make it from ArcCorp all the way to the gateway. So I don't know. Like I have to stop and fuel with like a fast drive. So then I guess that becomes where you have to make choices with your drives. Are you going to go slower and travel further, or are you going to travel really fast but you have to refuel a lot? I guess for me that's not much of a trade-off. I'm just going to go a little slower because I hate refueling all the time. Stopping at a station or trying to do the refueling, it exaggerates that time versus just sitting in your ship. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it, though. Toronto, what'd you say? You got the biggest and bestest quantum jumps? Yep. Yep. You do have that. Like lately, I haven't mind the quantum jumps into lock. I always say that maybe it's made for it's like a streamer's like paradise when it comes to quantum jumps, because like you're doing missions and in between quantum jumps they can interact with like chat and stuff like that. So I call it the break time, and then other people are like, oh, well, that's the bathroom break, that's snack break, that's go refill my coffee break. And I think because it's a older group of people that play Star Citizen, I think that's why we're a lot more patient, than the younger generation, the games that are playing, the Fortnites and stuff, the stuff where it's like instant interaction, instant battle, instant, everything is just constantly moving, jumping, sliding, all that kind of stuff. I think we're just a lot more patient when it comes to this. But I think like if they want to get that mainstream in, they want to start getting that younger generation like into the game like this and go mainstream. I think they're going to have to do some changes to this. I know we have like quantum boosting and stuff like that coming, which will probably help, but these long jumps across system, like I don't know any person that's like under 20 that would really want to, or the people that I know that game that are going to want to sit here and quantum travel for like 5 minutes. The game's going to get turned off extremely fast. But that's just, I mean, that's just a personal opinion. I know there's so many people out there who love it, so to each their own. I I'll be okay with it, whichever way they end up going with it. It doesn't bother me that much. I wish it was just a little faster. I mean, I think cutting it down to like 2 or 3 minutes max travel time, I think would be better. Re- Refueling is inconvenient. I'd rather just enjoy it. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather sit in quantum travel than have to stop and refuel too. I'm perfectly okay with that. But I think everybody plays games differently. Like when I get up in the morning, I'll throw somebody on Twitch or on YouTube and just sit there and watch and chill and play while I'm listening. And it's a whole fun experience versus I can imagine if you're just solo, you're playing by yourself, you don't do these extra things and you're grinding, I can see it not being near as fun. And I just put a video out this morning on kind of a salvage update, and they had some good fixes. But one thing I completely forgot to check is I forgot to see if the boxes are disappearing out of your hanger, which has been a big issue. Look at it. Yee. Star Citizen Physics. They've really got a lot of work to do on 4.9. It's not for everyone, but then I think the phrase describes the game in general, perhaps. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, I'm so much less worried about like the quantum travel times and stuff like that as I am with the general overall feel for the game. I mean, they have a lot of work to do for 4.9 to really get this back. I mean, you think I actually think they did okay with the stability from last year. They did all right. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be when they said the year's stability. I thought by the end of the year we were going to have like we were going to be good. Like I'm thinking like a whole year we're going to be all right. And it didn't end up that way. And it seems like they undid and with when the 4.8 dropped, it pretty much undid an entire year of stability because it's been worse lately than it has been. Even my performance, like in terms of FPS, it's been low. So they undid everything they did in an entire year in one single patch, and like 4.9, like I don't see how they're gonna fix it all in one patch. I feel like the rest of the year is gonna be another fight for the stability stuff. We'll see though. We'll see though. Maybe the thing that is causing all of it is one thing that they can fix. I don't know. I'm definitely not a game dev. I have no idea how any of this works. All right, so let's go take another one. We're gonna crunch. We're gonna crunch and munch. Let's see. I think playing this game for so long. Like I've been around since like 2013. I think I bought into the game around 2016. And yeah, I think you have I think people who have been here like for so long start getting like a lot more jaded opinion of it. It's good though. I mean, I still like what they're doing, what they're trying to do. I just can't tell company wise. Like it just starts seem like the game's not quite a high of priority to me, or for some reason. than it used to be. Okay, we can take. Can we crack? We can crack a hammerhead. Yeah, yeah. Where's this at? Arc L2. We can do that. A hammerhead's probably going to fill this ship up. Mm, I think a hammerhead's going to fill this up. So let's bounce out of this. Let's auto eject this. Okay. Let's auto eject this. Let's get these boxes moving out. I dropped some significant Kickstarter money whenever it first started, and then thought I'll try it when it's released. Then a month or so, finally realized I might be dead. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, there are games out there like people are like, "Oh man, I'll never," you know, that people have come from Star Citizen are like, "Man, I'll never do another alpha or whatever like that." But so I've been playing another game um that I've been actually considering like maybe streaming a little bit of just from time to time. It's in pre-alpha. It's called Gray Zone Warfare. I'm sure you've heard of it. Um it's in pre-alpha and it's good. Like there are some very minor things. I think there are like some stuff that they're working on, not game breaking stuff, just stuff like you can jump over a fence with a heavy backpack when you're not supposed to, like little things like that. But the game as a whole, like for them to call it a pre-alpha is pretty cool. I wish Star Citizen was more like that, but I understand the skill. I understand the skill of the project, and I understand that they, you know, the goalpost of the finish line in this game just keeps kind of getting moved. But can you imagine? Can you imagine? I guess what keeps me around and what keeps me staying here. Can you imagine this game if they get it? I mean, I think we're so jaded now that we're like, I mean, just think if the performance or the bugs, if the major bugs and like the map was fixed and some social tools were put in. I mean, I really think this game would have a lot more people in it, especially if you could interact on a day-to-day basis inside the game. And if they could figure out a way to kill some of these like third-party tools to where these third-party tools were like an asset in game. And that, I guess that's what blows my mind. You have people on the outside that are making these websites pulling the data straight from the game. And it's like, why don't they just have a couple of devs build that, make it like a little app inside your Mobi-Glass that you can do these same, I don't like, I never understood why. And that's where it starts leaning towards, well, maybe it's not a, maybe that's like, I mean, we know it's not a priority. Star Citizen, it's all about Squadron 42, but like as a whole, maybe the game's not a priority. I don't know. It just seems weird that they're not trying to do some of that stuff. If people can do it on the outside in a third party app. But then again, you take a look at the UI and you go, okay, well, we're struggling with just the UI of what we have. Ops committees make third party tools because they need functionality. The game has included. Yeah, yes. Yeah, but like UEX, like I don't know anybody who really doesn't use like UEX and the functionality of it. But I don't know. It's kind of like that's like the only part of the exploration I guess they have is people not knowing, you know, if you want to sell your iron, you would have to hop around the verse for like, you know, half a day figuring out what station actually sells the iron for cheaper, for example, versus just jumping into UEX going, "Oh, we can sell it for the most at Area 18 or Arc L1." I don't know. I think I don't know if they get the social tools in. I think we'll learn a lot about it. of what they may add or may not add in the future. I think it's going to be a telltale sign to see what level we're going to get social tools, because like a lot of people are talking about, like we may get some social tools, but it's going to be another one of their tier 0 things, right? Like can we just get like the finished, like our a kind of finalized version of it? And that goes back to they keep moving the goalpost, they keep changing it. Maybe third party tools make it too easy. That's true. I mean, look at Elite Dangerous, right? It's all third party tools, and they have no interest in including that in the game. It also brings community engagement. It gets people out there, doing different things, building different things. It definitely gives people like Mr. Kraken something to do for sure, right? I mean, he does some awesome stuff. I thought the moth could do a hammerhead. The moth can't do a hammerhead? Oh. Well, that was a big boo-boo. Okay, let's go. In the grand theme of the topic that we're talking about, let's go refuel. I'm going to abandon that. I thought the mouth could do a hammerhead. I don't know why I was thinking that. I was in the reclaimer the other day doing stuff. That's probably why. Let's go salvage. What are we going to take, though? So, can't do the 890 jump. We can do a mole. Where's the mole at? Arc L2. That'll work, because that'll be right here. Yeah, big of a noobs. I ain't not worried about it. I got plenty of money. What's 20k in Star Citizen? The players are doing our job for us. Oh, yeah, true that. True that. Why is this not giving me my contract? Where is all my 20k missions? Okay, it took the mission, but it's not. I've been Star Citizened. I have been Star Citizened. That's really funny. Like the group of people I play with, like play with Star Citizen or something. So if we're playing a different game and something bad happens or a glitch in the game, it's like, you've been Star Citizened. Hey, Chaotic. It's Star Citizen. I'd say normal experience right now. I mean, 4.8 still, it's just been so bad. I've not had an instant or a game session where I haven't been fighting against the game the entire time. Normally, salvaging for me is the one thing that works, right? Normally, I can get in my ship and I can go salvage, and I don't really have that many issues, but now it's been stuff like, you salvage stuff and you refine it, but all the boxes get put back in your inventory empty. So then you have to move those out because it just becomes a clutter. I think we moved like 400 boxes one night out of my inventory and just threw them in the hangar for them to disappear. And it's like, well, now I know why the performance is going down. Oh, that's a wrong button. I could have landed on a pad, but we were right here. Sid, what's up? So you did a thing? What is the thing that you did? Did you get an Idris? Okay. We have been fueled. But we need a contract though. It's still not giving me that, and it's still taken. Oh, it'll probably pop up in 20 minutes, right? Okay, I'm not going back to Arc L3. No, no. I think our best bet is to jump to ArcCorp, maybe? Which one's new? I see Reclaimer, Arastra, Galaxy, and Ironclad. Okay. So we are gonna go. I do not want to take that. Let's jump. Let's get out of the hangar and jump to ArcCorp. I noticed that lately if you're around a planet, the missions seem to be better. You know, I have a CCU to a Galaxy. Why is that? Wait, can I just turn around in here? All right, let's go to ArcCorp. Oh, the Arastra's new. Ah, it's a great ship. It's a great ship. I think the Kevlar Ducky got one of those too. He got that that really awesome paint, the black paint, the what's it called, the nocturne paint or whatever. Dude, I like it. It looks, that ship looks sick in black. Really like it. Congrats on the ship. I like that hangar, man. That hangar's looking pretty pretty on point. I'll probably end up, the goal is to end up, well, depending on like how channel stuff goes. The goal is to have the Galaxy by the end of the year, but I'm really worried about the refining process on the ships and how that's going to work, because like I want it to be where like I don't want to have to stay in game to refine, if that makes sense. Like I want to be able to like bed log on my Galaxy and then be able to like log out, and then when I come back in, all the stuff will be refined on my Galaxy. Like I want to be able to stay out, and I dream of the day where we can like prioritize a certain server like they're talking about, so that like I can leave my little flotilla of ships out in the, you know, in deep space, and I can just live out there, you know. You can park your Carrack out there and park your Ironclad and stuff and just like live, and you never have to come back to the planets. You can refuel, you can do everything from like out there. That'd be really cool. It's not a game breaking thing if that doesn't happen, but man, how neat would that be? All right, contracts. No, we still only have the 7 contracts. Like, I did not want to go all the way back. Like, 10K for a Nomad. Redeemer is good. Okay, let's jump to, let's jump to Everest, I guess, because there's nothing popping around here. Unless they changed it. Unless they changed this to where it doesn't change, to where it doesn't change missions anymore. Usually a different areas give you different missions. Like I noticed around Crusader, you get the more of the like the harbingers and the wardens and stuff like that. Not come back until the Arastra 500 plus SU storage is full. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, that would be, man, it'd be so awesome. But hey, you know, I don't know, like the end game, not probably not 1.0, but when we get like space stations and base building and so I'd be fine going to my own base. I'd find landing at my own base and doing it. I'm just worried about like the ships. Like the game is so unstable with refining, and they only have till the end of this year to get like the refining process. We know we're getting a new refining process across stations and ships, but like how is refining going to work if you log out, you know, and you don't bed log, but you leave your galaxy out in space refining, you log back in, it logs you into a different server. So what happens to your ship and all your stuff? I mean, I just don't understand how they're gonna overcome that right now. Unless they do something where they significantly lower the refine time and significantly up the cost. But again, if you're on your own galaxy, it doesn't cost anything to refine it because it's your ship. Your ship's refining it. Unless it burns like some sort of fuel to make it happen, or burn some sort of resources. I mean, that could be a thing. Could you imagine log out and that server 30Ks and yep, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what kind of safety net are they gonna put in place for these refining ships? The only thing that I could possibly think of is they lower the time so much that instead of just logging out, you'll just wait till it finishes. Maybe it's like less than 5 minutes or something like that. You know what I mean? That seems like the only fix for it. All right. Contracts. Okay, there we go. See, now we got some contracts back. I can't do a C2, but I can do these 400 eyes. Where's this at? Her L1. Where's this at? So these two, Scorpius, her L1. Well, I can take this. That's close. Yeah, but what are the other options for them to do? And if they did do something where the refining time was cut so far in half, like how are they going to adjust? I guess how are they going to adjust the prices and things where I guess the commodities and stuff like that are worth it, you know, like your resources. Not man, I don't know. I'm very curious to see if they get it. My thought is we're probably not going to get ship refining by the end of the year, and the Galaxy's not. It's just going to be another ship that they release that doesn't have all its gameplay in it. Even though they said they're not going to do that, we'll see. We shall. Wait, I don't. I want to jump to the salvage claim here. There we go. It's a bit of a rough start this morning. Normally, I don't have this much trouble. The good missions aren't really popping up. All right, all right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if we can get this ship filled up faster. Normally around ArcCorp, I have such good luck doing the salvage. Like, I normally have, like, the, medium to large ships pop up quite often. I kind of wanted to just zip around in the Moth today versus trying to get the Reclaimer out. I just didn't want to mess with the logistics of getting the boxes and stuff out of the ship and dealing with the ironclad and all that. I think it's a lot... It's very soloable, but I think it's just a lot more fun when you have two people messing around with that. Yay, physics. It definitely wouldn't act like that in space. Yay, plus 15%. Where did the nose go? There it is. Some salvage going. I'm debating on how much I'm actually going to fill this up today. A lot of the times I'll put 4 in the cargo grid on the back, but I think I'm just going to fill it up and go and not... Because every once in a while that back cargo grid is just a freaking pain to deal with. Alright, let's get this ejecto. Get ready for the next one. Alright, let's go contracts, offers. Let's see if we got anything else around her L1 now. See if we got a good mission that popped. That's her L4. Her L3. I guess we can go to her L4 and grab another one of these. I can't crack that. That takes a reclaimer. Alright, we'll take this. About to say, where'd my mission go? This won't be too bad. Because we should have plenty... I mean, we should have plenty of room left. I mean, we've got... Yeah, we got lots of room. Lots of room to go. This should make a pretty good buck. 0. I feel like you would need a lot of trips for the same profit on the Moth. What do you mean? What do you mean? A lot of trips compared to what? Are we talking about like compared to? I mean, yeah. If you compare it to like the Reclaimer, for sure, the trips. The Moth is, when you're doing CMAT, the Moth is like a really, really good middle ground. It's a step up because The CMAT, you're going to make more off of doing CMAT with the Moth than you're going to make with any of the lower tier salvage ships like the Vulture, Fortune, stuff like that. Scraping all that, you're going to make more doing this. Not not time wise per se, because like when you log out, this stuff will still refine, which is where you get the benefit compared to the. Oh yeah, oh 100%, 100%. With the reclaimer, the time that you lose with the reclaimer is straight up the logistics of it, right? It's like, because most of the time now that the ironclad is out, I back my reclaimer up and I just drop the little poop chute into the ironclad so that the boxes fall out, and that makes it pretty easy. But the Moth, like if you're a salvager coming up and let's say you go from like a Vulture to the Moth, definitely a nice upgrade. I mean, you can make a lot more. But yeah, Reclaimer is going to be king. 2 people on a Reclaimer, like a Reclaimer Ironclad, is basically the king of all of it. I found scraping wasn't really worth it, mainly because they added RM to most stations. So yes, yes. Scraping has been kind of out of the loop for a while. The only time scraping comes into effect is if you don't want to spend money and like you're with an org and y'all are doing like all the repair and stuff on the ships. I think it would a cost factor there. But until they tie salvage into the other game loops for crafting and stuff like that, which I think I think salvage is going to be a big game changer when like base building comes in. I think you're going to use a lot of salvage stuff. But then again, we're supposed to be getting the materials the ships are made up, right? Like the CMAT, when we refine the construction materials, that stuff is supposed to get turned into whatever the materials the ship is made out of. You know, titanium, iron, copper, things like that. At some point, well, we don't know. I imagine that's like a couple of years away. And as much as they fight with like balancing stuff, I think that's going to be a big fight on the balancing. But then again, salvage has never been the biggest moneymaker in the game. I can make more cargo running than I can with salvage, technically. There's a 9 run right now at ArtCorp. You do 9. I just literally just posted the video, I think, last week. You make about half a mil going from Bajini down to the spaceport at Riker. 9 missions in total that are about 50k apiece. So, it's insane. And then you make a return trip with 2 missions from Riker back to Bajini, and you just do that over and over. It's some super easy money for the time that you spent. That AUC per hour thing. Alright, let's continue this. I wonder when they're going to add this crafting stuff back too, right? Like, because you can't craft anything anymore. Like, not even the guns and stuff. I wonder when they're going to add that back. I think it had to do with you craft it and then you could, like, scrap it for more, so they took it out. I don't know. Salvaging is relaxing and nice. Oh, yeah, 100%. Sometimes I just get tired of moving all the boxes. Even though you do move boxes with salvaging, just not quite as much. And you can refine straight from the ship, which is still broken, but whatever. So right now, if you do the refining from the Moth, and I might even try it just because you end up with ghost boxes sometimes on your ship where you'll go to spit the boxes out, it'll say full, but there's nothing there. Like, it won't eject the boxes. It says like it's blocked. Uh 224, I think. 224, so it can hold 12 8 SCU boxes on both sides. So they can double stack. So that's 12 boxes on each side of 8 SCU, and then it can hold 4 boxes here in the back, in the back container. It can hold 4. So 12 plus 4. So 16 times 8, whatever that is. I can't do the math right now. A lot for a ship this size, in my opinion. I think they did a pretty decent job on it, on the balance. Okay, what do we got? Just give me another 400. Constellation Taurus. Where's that at? Her L1. Her L3. Where are we at? We're at her L4, right? Yeah, we're at her L4. Okay, we'll take this. I'd rather take a salvaging mission and be doing something versus waiting for missions. 448? No, that's too much. It's 2 something. 224? Right? I don't know. I think it's 224. All right. Correct. That's correct. That's not counting the buffer. That is not counting the buffer. Which is really cool because we were talking about this the other day, and for somebody who wants to do like multiple game loops and stuff like that, especially if they want to throw salvage in there, you can cargo haul and salvage with the Moth because all of it's external. So you can fit cargo boxes on this grid. You can fit, a ton on the grid, not to mention 4 in the back elevator. These are 8 SCU containers. So you can actually cargo haul with the Moth and do salvage. So you can do all those missions and then jump to salvage if you want. It's pretty cool. So you have an actual choice. 12. So you can fit 12 8 SCU boxes on each side. So that's 24. So that's 28. 28 8 SCU boxes. Right? That's 224. So that's 288. You can fit 288 if you include the 64 SCU and the buffer. That's 288. Yeah. 12 on each side plus the 4 on the pad, but those are 8 SCU containers. So that would be 224 plus the 64 in the buffer. Yep. But think about it, 224. That's more cargo space than the raft has. So you can actually cargo haul with the Moth because you can fit 224 just on the grids that it has, which is pretty cool. Somebody's got a daddy reclaimer over there. All right. let's get some... Ooh. 41, that's better. That's much better than the 400i. You would think the 400i would have a lot more CMAT than it really does. This be a Taurus? I wonder if they've gotten as far, because I haven't really been watching the amount of SCU. I wonder if like an Andromeda would have more than a Taurus. So the Taurus is larger, longer, has a longer center section, but I wonder if because of the armor on the Andromeda, if it would have more SCU. You would think so. But it's shorter, so... Somebody wasn't believing me the other day when I was like, no, the Andromeda is shorter than the Taurus. Like, it's actually a shorter ship. The whole center section of the Taurus is longer. They thought all the constellations were the exact same, like, dimensions. I'm like, nope. Yeah, I would say that sounds about right. But again, I can do that cargo hauling and make 450K. I can make over 500,000. I think it's like 580. Don't forget. So make sure on that 350K to 400K, you're considering the 20K that it's taken to get the missions. If you're trying to do it fast. So you have to like take away like 100K from that. By the way, the missions, these missions that you actually take, they changed it for 4.8. So the contracts, these do give you rep. So even though you're paying for them, they do give you rep. So here's my holding right here, and I'm into veteran. By the way, going from senior to veteran does absolutely nothing. It doesn't give you anything. Oh yeah, I'm not doing salvage to get rich. It's just chill. I like filling the ship up and taking it down. It's fun. Now the reclaimer is a different story when it comes to doing this. Like you can actually, because you're taking the same 20K missions, but you're getting so much more for those missions. Like I can do this C2, where in the Moth I can't do this C2, even though it's still the same 20K. Like these used to be 50K to take, and they lowered it to all 20K, so 20K is the max now. Then again, if you could find like the goal would always be to like, man, if you could go to like a TSG site like after a big battle with the reclaimer and just start like sucking all those ships up that have been destroyed and stuff. But the problem is that the cleanup is so bad right now in the game because of the performance that the ships are gone. Like we tried it the other day, somebody blew up and they're like, hey, I have my ship, I just lost my ship, if you want to come like munch it or whatever. And before I could get over there, the ship was just gone. Like they don't stay anymore. Like I used to be able to go to the outpost, the asteroid fields and stuff like that, and find people who were there that had done missions, so you could find NPC ships and player ships, and it's empty now. $1,500. Oh, and it only fractures into one piece. Somebody told me if you blow it up, it'll fracture into two. Don't quote me on that, but somebody said it. But I can't blow it up with the Moth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, you can salvage the brick ships. Like you can, but the problem is you like you have to, like, most of the time the shields are still up. And when they added the entry, the harder entry, now you have to shoot the doors open. You have to shoot the entry doors open. Like we did it the other night on a Zeus. And okay, I shot the rear door open, but I couldn't shoot, like I couldn't get the ship to shoot into the other door. There's like two more doors that you have to shoot with your gun to get them open, to sit in the seat to actually turn the ship off to be able to. And I was like, it's just this big long process where I'm like, okay, well, I'd rather just take the 20K mission and just do it like that. All right, did I get all that ship? I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Just checking. Never know. Yeah. But soon, unfortunately, soon for CIG could be anywhere from 1 to 2 years. Unfortunately, but salvage hasn't really gotten a, other than the ships, we haven't gotten a change in salvaging in a long time. All right, we're good. Let's go. Yep. Yeah, I don't think that's because of the way the gameplay works. Like, I don't think they're gonna ever be able to differentiate between like a brick ship and a non-brick ship when it comes to the SRV. Like, I don't. I mean, they may be able to do it at some point, but I don't think it's something they're going to be able to do anytime soon. It just seems like really difficult for them to like try to separate two different types of things right now. But I agree, if it's bricked, completely bricked, and shows as bricked, you should be able to tow that away. Not to mention, there's still an issue right now with the SRV where when you're towing a ship and you cross the server line, it disconnects the ship. Server error. Whee! Lucky us. Man, do you veterans out there remember the day of the 30Ks? Do y'all remember that? Where it would 30K, you get kicked out and lose everything of what you were doing. Oh my god. I don't even remember how he played this. I remember like so many times I'd be in my vulture and have like a full load and it would server error. You just want to scream because you lose everything. It sucks. Oh man, that was terrible. But yeah, they really need to incorporate the SRV. SRV would be, I mean, that'd be so much fun. You used to be able to do it. It worked for. There were a couple of patches where it worked, where we would have a couple of ships out in deep space with like a couple of vultures, and then we would just constantly tow like the smaller ships away from like the asteroid belts where the missions were going. We would just tow those ships and just continue keep towing them. That way, it was like an endless field of stuff to scrape and munch and pull the guns and weapons and stuff off of. I actually think right now, money wise, for salvaging, I think if you just went around to specific ships, pulled the guns off, and then dismantled them and sold the material, I think you would make more money than even doing the munching right now. Yeah, so I've been around since 2013, around 2013, like right when the game was getting talked about real big and getting going. Like I started following it, like everything, and then, but at the time there was like nothing to really do, so I didn't really. There's nothing in the game that I wanted to do, And then in 2016, I was like, okay, I can get around for, 45 bucks or whatever. I can get in here and mess around with this. So I did that. And it wasn't until after 2020 that I like started playing like weekly. From like 2016 to like 2020, I would like, once a month, once every couple months, I would bounce in and mess around with it. Yeah. Well, think about it. Most of the staff and most of the company is working on Squadron 42. I mean, can you imagine if all the company was working on Star Citizen? I think that's the hope. I think that's why a lot of people stay around, because if once Squadron 42 releases, that's the telltale of whether the game's going to make it or not, I think, in the short term of what are they going to do when Squadron 42's done, it's released, and then all the excuses of we're working on Squadron 42 and not Star Citizen. It's kind of going to be interesting where it's going to go. But like I tell people, like if you're gonna get into Star Citizen, like I play like I spent the last couple of days playing a game called Gray Zone. Like I do not play this like I don't play just Star Citizen, and I think that's where like a lot of the community like they're just Star Citizen players. And man, I can imagine the frustration if like Star Citizen didn't work and you couldn't game or something. And for me, it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, okay, next game. I'll come, I'll deal with it when I can get back in or something. Let's go salvage. What do we got? What do we got? A tally. Where's this at? Her L2? We can do that. Aren't we at her L2? I think I'm at her L2. No, I am not at her L2. Maps. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure they'll take a lot of stuff they did with Squadron 42 will come to Star Citizen. Yeah, they say that. But that's true. There's a lot of stuff that we don't have that definitely could come in. But there's a lot of stuff that could already be in that we don't have, like a better map, social tools, things that are specifically for Star Citizen that aren't for Squadron 42. Man, that planet went by fast. Holy cow. That was quick. Okay, where is this sucker? Right there. While that's going, I did want to check something. Yep. Yeah, social tools is going to be one of the biggest things to come in probably in the last couple of years. Social tools for Star Citizen. It's going to be gigantic. Well, it's going to be gigantic depending on what level. If they actually bring social tools and not some sort of like tier 0 thing or something like that, if they actually bring in true MMO social tools, it's going to be so big. Plus 19%, plus 18%, that's fine. I'll take 18, 17, no, 16, 15, 16, there we go. We about got the full buffer. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at exactly? Ah. I lost my third person ship view. I think I got to sit back in the seat now, right? There we go. So we basically got about 8 more boxes on the outside. So let's go get those ejecting. Like, the ability to be able to transfer items and stuff like that. I think the ability to transfer stuff, transfer money, things like that, I think are going to be gigantic. All right. Should need one more mission. I think we'll take care of kind of filling up what I want to do for this run at least. I think we'll be okay. Okay, let's see here. Offers, salvage, C2, retaliator. Oh, this will be a cool one. We can do a Star Runner at her L1. That ain't far away. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be neat to be able to do, like, for them to add some sort of like org progression and things like that in there. I think that'll be really neat. So like you're talking about, like everybody can donate to like a common goal. I always thought they should do that with the community stuff. Like, hey, we need to restock these stations. Like something that could happen like every month. Like, hey, this station needs restocking, or weekly stuff, right? And then at the end of the week, if the community completed it, then okay, hey, for X amount, because you did this material gets a boost in price. Like iron gets a boost in price for the following week. That kind of stuff. Not exactly like that, but something that keeps like weekly. That's something that's happening weekly. I wish they wouldn't have nerfed the cargo that was on these ships. Well, this will pretty much fill up the buffer. Oh, we still got a couple of boxes we can do. I always wanted the ability to like allow people to like that are inside your org, that are part of your org, to like to be able to like loan ships and stuff like that, because like they make a big thing about it, like, okay, so your org, like to go get the Polaris or an Idris from Wicklow, it's a big deal, right? It's like an org thing, but only one person gets that ship in their hangar, so if that person's not on, you can't use it. So having that org hangar would be just epic. Come on, don't get wonky on me. All right, let's okay, let's see. 64. Filling that box. All right, I think since we're here and we're done, instead of trying to like try to maxing out all this, I think we're at a good spot where let's go ahead and unload this ship, I think. I think we're in a good spot. I don't know if I don't know, should we take the boxes off, put it in the freight elevator, or should I try to refine straight from the ship? I think either way, I'm going to have to take the boxes off, because I think it's going to leave empty boxes on the ship. I do believe it's going to, because I don't think they fixed that. I need to check that in 4.9. That's going to be probably the next video, is going to be do the boxes disappear. Okay, so let's go maps. Let's go ahead and take this to my locale. Not too far right there. Okay, pretty short jump. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, we'll go drop this stuff off. So how was everybody, for those of you who are US based, I think most of you should be, how was your 4th? How was last night? Did y'all do anything fun? Cook, barbecue, eat well? I'm sure fireworks. Man, they were popping fireworks off so late last night, which is fine. I can sleep through most of it anyways. Not too bad. I don't think I can ever do the 4th of July anymore without remembering that the quote that they did in the movie Independence Day. That's got to be one of the most epic movie quotes, or say quotes, speeches ever. That was an epic speech. I think I always post that around this time. All right. Let's get in here and see how we're doing. I need to get my every time I have a Windows update, it blows all of my stick like keybinds and stuff and disconnects. I've got to figure out why it keeps doing that, because I have like a Windows update like every single week, and it just seems like I'm just constantly redoing that. I'm gonna try to park in the middle since we're on both sides. Why do I still have 16 in the buffer? Maybe I need to go eject that? Nope. Please clear the conveyor. Maybe it's full on both sides. Okay, so there's 2 extra boxes. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's go. Oh, it is full. Okay. Alright, so guys, I think what I'm gonna do is, for this particular video, I think I'm gonna, the stream, should I say, video. Let's go, let's test it out. Let's refine. Let's see if we can refine straight from the ship. Now, I have the chance, I guess, to lose everything, but whatever. Don't really need the money per se right now. So there's a bricked moth. Okay, let's store this. Let's store and see what happens when I store it. Let's see if I can... I think I'll be able to refine, but I'm wondering what happens after I refine to the boxes that are on the ship. That's the key. One thing I noted, guys, if make sure that ship disappears before you leave the hangar, because sometimes, I'm telling you, making sure it stores before you like leave the hangar like can solve like so many issues with it not storing properly or being able to read it from the refinery. Like, it's weird. Sometimes I'll have to like, oh god, lots of pop in right now, man. When I was testing 4.9 earlier this week, like, I wasn't getting any of this pop in. And I even went back and checked all my settings. Like, 4.8 is just, whew. It's a little rough. while we're going to the refinery, just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in this morning, watching. Everybody that's on YouTube, thank you so much. Twitch, you guys, thank you so much for just hanging out for a little while. And anybody that's on Rumble, appreciate it as well. Thank you guys. Okay, here we go. Here's the test. Oh, I already completed. Oh, I did get some of that. I don't even remember doing that. Here, let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Fantastic. Okay, so location. See, I hate that when the ship is bricked, it still shows it. But I guess that's the whole idea. Chat isn't updating. Let's fix it. Sometimes it desyncs, I think. Let's see here. Okay. It should be okay now. All right, we're gonna go. I'm gonna guess second moth. 192. There it is. Set up work order. We'll go ahead and go pyro. 9,000. That ain't bad. For 3 hours, or I can do Dynex for 19 hours. I can wait 19 hours for 8,000 less. That's like an extra SCU box, right? So we got a little over 38 SCU off of the 192 that we did. We still got 2 on our ship. We can still eject 2 on our ship, which is no big deal. But that's not bad. That is not bad. Plus, we are getting some rep, even though we don't care about the rep, because the rep does nothing in salvaging. You wrote that message a long time ago? Oh, whoops. Yeah, sometime chat bricks. Unfortunately, because I'm not like a full-time streamer. I just do this for fun as a hobby. I don't have any of the big-time paid stuff, so I have to work with what I got. And in this case, I use the Rumble Studio that kind of works like Restream, so that I can stream to like Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and Rumble in this case, all at the same time without having to pay like, you know, big bucks for it. But with that, 494K. Yeah, no. Not from that run. No, it's pretty good. And I didn't even max it, right? I could have put 64 in the buffer. And I could have put 4 more boxes on the cargo grid. So, I mean, you can do good. The mod does well. It's a pretty decent moneymaker. All right, let's go. Okay, let's go back to the hangar. We will make another run. Let's go back to the hang on, let me real fast. Let me top off on this. That way I don't have to, because the biggest key here is where did the boxes go that were on the ship, right? All right. I littered. I did it. Gonna break the game with all the assets on the ground. So the moth is available in 4.9? That's pretty good. Somebody asked me that earlier, and I never checked to see if it was actually going to be in-game. Oh, did y'all see in 4.9 the new panels? So they changed all the elevator panels in 4.92. So they changed it back to where your home is at the top, and it's filtered by your hangers. Super cool. Super cool. Very helpful, very functional. You don't have to scroll down anymore. You just get in the elevator, hit your hanger, and go. Like a super good quality of life, especially for a new player. All right. Here is the test. What happened to all the boxes? Did they stay on my ship? Did they go into my inventory? Where did they go? Oh, I love the black paint on the moth. It looks so good. Ah, son of a bee. Like I said, one way or another, you're going to move these dang boxes. And see how they say empty now? Now they're empty. Oh, I hate this. I don't give a crap. I don't care. We're going to get 4.9 one of these days. I'm not throwing empty boxes into my inventory that I can't use. Because these are useless. Useless boxes. I'll figure out something to do with these things later. Maybe I'll pull the engines up to the back of them and blow them away. I could have done this in space, but I was already standing here. Yeah, one of these days, I'm going to build something with this. I'm going to build something with all these empty crates. Smith Gaming. Is the Ironclad going to be available in 4.8? Nah, I think the Ironclad's got what, like another patch or two before it actually releases? I think we got another like 2 months before it actually ends up in game, I would think. I've got a sneaky... I really have a sneaky suspicion they're gonna lock the Ironclad behind Wicklow. I really hope that's not the case. I just got this, like, sneaky suspicion. Which would be terrible. Maybe the Assault will be Wicklow and the regular Ironclad will be, like, be able to be bought with AUEC. I just got a sneaky suspicion. I don't know. Just because it's a popular ship. And it can do, like, you know, all the refueling and stuff. One of the ships that I didn't even get to play with or try out this time, I just didn't have the time to like move all my ships around and inventory around and stuff, is the Tailui. I never did get to try that out. I just wanted to see it. I don't think it's a ship that I would ever use, but... Now here's the one thing, guys, with this. The question is because the empty boxes were there and stuff like that, is the game reading that the empty boxes are gone. That was the biggest issue for 4.8 for me, is by doing it like that, it won't eject anymore because it's telling me that there's boxes. So, we're going to find out. I purposefully left 2 boxes in the buffer to see if they will eject. Alright, let's see if I can eject these boxes. The Clipper was available in-game. Yeah, but for whatever, I feel like the bigger ships take longer. Hey, I hope it comes. I'd be fine if it came in 4. Oh, wait a minute. I'd be fine if it came in 4.9. All right, here we go. Let's see if continue ejecting. Okay, you see what I mean, guys? So the ship is actually completely borked right now. So when you drop the when you refine from the ship, and I need to test this. I need to go to 4.9 and actually test this and see if by refining from this if it's possible. Because right now, no matter what I click, let me double check on this side. Nope, it's gonna be the same thing. See, so this ship is completely borked. That's a problem. It still reads those empty containers like it's like they're there. Just for giggles, just for giggles. Let's turn the ship all the way off and turn it back on and see if that does anything. You know, we're doing these Star Citizen workarounds. Let's see if we can... Let's see if I can kill the power. I don't think that's going to do anything, but we're going to find out. No, that ain't going to do anything. Okay. So... let's see if I can get out of this without blowing myself up. How about that? So I'm going to have to reclaim this ship, but that's okay. Like I said, I didn't really need the money per se. Okay, is there an open all? Where's the open all on this ship? Open exterior. All right, here we go. Oh, don't be doing that. All right, guys, let's watch our beautiful ship explode. Well, so this was just a test. Most of the time, if you just take them off and put them on the grid, which you're going to have to move the boxes anyways, it's fine. Did y'all see that? So when it exploded, it changed the paint. Hey, and that's what I'm talking about salvaging, where the ship disappears. That happens out in the verse as well, too, so you can't salvage it. Okay, here's the moth. Let's claim. That's not right. Oh, it's cleared. It's cleared now. We got it clear. Come on back up. There she is. There she be. All right. Onward. Okay. How's our... This sure does go up. It really hadn't moved at all. That's with the... Even with the E. I just like, what's the point? Like, I don't understand. Why do they do this? Like, what's the point of all this? Like, you don't get anything for it. I don't know. Offers. Oh, here we go. Arc L3, Arc L4. Okay, we got some star. Okay. We will take this. Ever get pirated while salvaging? Not in... I mean, since they pretty much killed pirating, I haven't been pirated, and I think the last time I got pirated, I was in my Reclaimer and Pyro. It's been probably a year and a half since I've been pirated in Stanton salvaging. I mean, with the changes in the game now, I can literally warp away before they can take me down. Unless it's like a really good group of people that are trying it. But if one player jumps in and tries to pirate me, I can just drop my shields, point in a general direction, and jump before he can ever take me down. He might damage me pretty good, but I can still jump. But it's even been probably a year since even anybody's tried. Especially around the stations, because like when you're near the stations doing these missions, if somebody starts shooting me, I'm just gonna hightail it into the armistice zone, which is like really close to where you're salvaging, which is I guess what the purpose of these missions is, just to make them safe. Do you get hit with the Reclaimer doing these? Oh, you get hit with the Mantis every time? I don't... Yeah, but even doing these missions, you can just fly. I mean, you don't even have to jump. You can just fly back into Armistice. I guess if you're in like a Fortune or a Vulture, if there's a big group, you won't make it back. But I think the Moth, even with the shields down, the Moth would make it. I don't think I refueled. Oh well. I'll refuel when I get there. Oh, you're getting pulled out of QT. No, I haven't been pulled out of QT in literally a year or more. But like, so like when pirating was a thing, I never flew, like, it was a big thing. I never flew in a straight line because the Star Citizen, the way it is, like, you can't pick to a point to jump. I would just stop right now and then jump to another point and then jump to a different point because they only have like a 10 to 20 kilometer range on those things. So anytime you make just a quick little jog out of the way and then go back to where you're going, they're not going to get you unless they're waiting at the location of like a planet or something like that, which I guess. But even then, coming in at a different angle is going to take you to a different part of that planet. Just do little zigzaggies. So you could stop right now, jump to a different point, stop after like 3 seconds, and then jump back to the point that you're going to, and it just stops it all. You won't get pulled out of quantum that way. Brian, by the way, I did see your comment. If you QQ will clear, that's like a 50-50 thing. It doesn't always work, or it doesn't always work for me. That's the crazy thing about Star Citizen, and is like the crazy things that are different for different people. Like the things that like work are the different things you can do to get something to work. Like for example, I forget the way you do it, but one of the fixes for the freight elevators, it works for a buddy of mine, but like one night he's like, "Oh, dude," he's like, "Oh, you must be doing it in the wrong." I'm like, "No, I'm doing it just like you're doing it." We're like we were in Discord, and I was streaming to Discord, and I was showing him. I'm like, "Look, I'm doing it," it wasn't fixing the elevator for me. So the little thing that he was doing worked for him, but not for me. I'm like, it's so insane that like you would. I wonder what causes that. Like, why some things work for some people and not the others, even though you're doing the exact same thing. The only thing I can think of is the way in which you broke your elevator. Maybe that's the reason why, is the only thing I can think of. Where's she be? Wait. I love the Star Runner. Such a great ship. All right. Get this baby going. Make a little extra in-game cash. Hey, did everybody finish? Anybody that's playing some Star Citizen right now, did you guys finish the Xeno threat? Did y'all finish that? The desync? Oh my god, the desync is so bad. I did manage to get it done with a group, so that's good. It's just weird. I think it's just really weird the way they did the event. I know they needed to get something out, and they didn't want to put anything else into the game that would like cause any more issues for 4.9. So I'm sure that's why they kind of regurgitated the Foxwell missions. But all right, getting us a full buffer on this one. You did most of them, but the Idris is jumping. Oh yeah, dude, it's so bad. It is so bad. Ugh. And it's not like the rewards are permanent. They're just blueprints that we're probably going to lose at some point, so... I mean... Whatever, I guess. Okay. Ejecto? Ejecto. Well, that was a quick filled buffer. I wonder if we can get another one of those. Can we get another one? Ooh, look. Arc L4, Arc L2. Hang on, where's Arc L4? Arc L4 is the close one, right? That's crew 04, arc 05. So where's arc 04? Well, it's about the same distance, I guess. I guess we'll go... Alright. I guess we'll go arc L2. We can go arc L4. It doesn't really matter. I think we have enough fuel. Let's go ahead and take this since we got it, right? I think we should go ahead and take this one since arc L2 isn't that far away. Let's take them both. There we go. That should be, this will be a quick fill it up. A quick filler-upper. Let's see here. Let's go to the map. Salvage claim. No. Let's not do that. Back to contracts. Back to contracts. Let's track this one. And I did it again. There's a thing like hitting the wrong buttons that just drive you crazy. Cancel. Locate claim. It's still taking me to arc L2. Cancel. Contracts. Accepted. That's arc L4 right here, so we want to track that. Now we want to go back in. There it is. It's still taking me to arc L2. Okay. Cancel. This is it right here. That's it. It's still saying the 0.00, which means it's going to take me right back to arc L2. Alright. Alright. Alright, we're going to have to make a jump somewhere. We are going to have to make a quick little jump. Come on, respool, respool, respool. Okay. Now let me jump to my... Now let me see. Let's cancel. Arc L4. Maps. Salvage claim. There we go. And it's still taking me to arc L2. Dude, this... Seriously. I don't even know what to do. It's killing me. Now it's taking me to Mike L5. I don't want to go to Mike L5. I want to go over here. Alright, Star Citizen, we're going to do this manually. Holy cow. What's going on? That was painful to watch, I bet. $51 gigameters, gigachads, gigameemals. So what are you guys calling the distances? The GM. What do you guys call it? I've heard all kind of stuff. I've heard gigachads, gigameemals, giga. I've heard all kind of stuff. What do you guys calling the distances? Obviously, I assume it's technically like what gigameters. Jumping around. At least I tell you what, the stock quantum drive and the moth is not that bad. It's decent. It is decent. Yeah, the rep for the journal, right? Journal. The return of the Xeno threat. I think this was I know a lot of people this was freaking a lot of people out because the bar was not going. Zen. Gigamimis. I have not heard that one. Gigamimis. That's a good one. I like that. I've been using the just for fun because the small one of the smaller groups that I play with they that's what they call it. They call it the Gigameemals. But yeah, this was freaking a lot of people out. I think on the because it wasn't going all the way to 100, even though the points were there. I saw somebody streaming was like, "Is it actually finished? Is it bugging?" Your cat's name is Mimi. Oh, well, that's good. You kind of incorporate the animal. Oh. I really feel like I'm gonna need a cup of coffee here in a second. Yeah. Yeah, we have to play the games. The mini games to play the game. Sorry, the mini games that allow us to play the game. Okay. Let's pull our shields up. I did get... Okay, we're good. Depot is empty. Let's crack her from the underside. How about that? Here we go. Yeah. I almost took the reclaimer out this morning, but I was like, man, it's just so big. I was like, I didn't want to run back. I didn't want to run back and forth. Like the moth is, it's definitely not as per se, but man, that like for this kind of stuff, just being able to fly around and do it like this, it's pretty chill. I like that the moth is pretty chill to do this stuff in. Even if you want to scrape a little bit with it, even though the scraping is god horrendous. I think I talk about this every time, but like one size 1 salvage head on a vulture scrapes faster than the one size 2 head on the moth. Crazy. Hopefully when they take another look at salvage, when somebody starts looking at salvage again for some updates, that kind of stuff will get like resolved. I hope so anyways. Like I always wanted to like the shipbreaker game where you like actually got to like cut the pieces of the ship up and stuff. Like that was always the dream for me. I thought that would have been a lot of fun to be able to like slice the ship up yourself. But I get how that's probably not going to be a thing in Star Citizen at all. You got the moth when it came out, but melted it. Recently had to a braid scrapers, the salvation, and it scrapes. Yeah, well, the salvation scrapes faster than the moth. Even though it's a starter ship, it scrapes RMC faster than the moth. I think where the moth shines over it is just the space, right? It scrapes slower. It scrapes slower, but you don't have to go back to the... You know, you can stay out forever scraping in the moth. I mean, it holds like 224 plus the 64. I mean, you can stay out forever scraping in the moth, whereas the salvation scrapes a whole lot faster, but you're not, you know, you're going to be constantly... The time that you save scraping faster costs you in taking the material somewhere and dropping it off. Even if you're dropping it off to another ship, you still got to stop scraping for that. So I guess there's that trade. I guess that's the trade-off between the two, but it still doesn't make sense that a size 1 head scrapes faster than a size 2 head. That still doesn't make any sense. But I don't want them to nerf my vulture either, because the vulture is like in the perfect spot right now. Like I think the vulture could scrape like 10%, maybe 5-10% faster, and it would be like zeroed in for salvaging for a vulture. The fortune needs to be increased by probably like 15%. And that would be in a good spot. Salvation, I think, is perfect for where it's at. So let's jump out. Let's get this stuff ejecting. Yeah, but with the salvation's like specifically meant for RMC. It's not really meant for construction materials at all. All right. We are good. We are ejecting. I want to see, is my rep even moving on this thing? So I was at the E. I mean, barely. I think you would have to do like 100 missions with what we have to get that. But it doesn't really matter, because those missions don't... The rep doesn't give you anything extra. Okay, so we need to go back into our mobiGlas. We need to get our other contract. Let's track that. Go to our maps. Now we can go to ArcL2. There we go. Now we got her working okay. Now we're moving. We've got some fuel left. We'll be fine here. I think we should be able to... If we stay around ArcCorp, I think we should be fine without refueling. We should be able to just make a head back to Arkel Wood. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I do like the stock drive of the Moth. I don't see any reason to pull that stock drive out. It's pretty efficient and gives you plenty of distance. Of course, we don't know how it's going to work in 4.9. I definitely need to go test 4.9 out with it. I think that'll be my weekly plan, is to jump back in here and like do some videos on the testing with the Moth and the boxes and stuff like that, and seeing if it's broken, or that'd be a good update video for next week. Get some testing done. I've enjoyed doing the like kind of like the informational salvage update videos lately. I mean, most of my channel is a lot of salvaging. I throw some stuff in there, but most of it revolves around. And then I do try to stream like once a week at least to kind of do some of this, to show it like kind of happening live. Maybe at some point I'll be able to get on a different schedule or something where I can like stream a little bit more, like a couple days a week or something like that. I have a full-time job, so this is just a hobby for fun. So I really appreciate, when I say I appreciate you guys just hanging out, like I do mean it. Thank you guys. It makes it worth it. It's fun. I enjoy the chats. Trying to figure this thing out. I think some of the like some of the funnest times I've had in Star Citizen is like showing a new player that's kind of like in awe, and then I go to show them like it's where like the game really shows like how, like, I guess broken it is at times, because I'm like showing a new player, I'm like constantly like things we just know, like as veteran players, just like, oh no, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. Then you hit the button. Yeah, exactly the point I was making. It's just like, they're like, okay, it says F to get into my ship, and then you're like, no, you gotta press F plus Alt plus B plus C plus D all at the same time, but you gotta do all that backwards as soon as you get in. I'm just being facetious about it. It's not really like that, but you know, it feels like that at times when you're trying to show somebody. It's an interesting process for sure. Oh, we do love our little buggy space game though. I just like I was saying earlier, I just don't get frustrated with this game as much anymore, because I go play other stuff, and then I'll want to bounce in and play for a while. Like I usually play every week. I play Star Citizen every week, but like if I get to a point where I get in and it's not working and I server hop and I just can't get it working, I'm not gonna sit there and fight it for like hours like people do trying to just get it to work. I'm gonna go play something else. There's way too much right now. You've recruited your friends into the game. It is. So all the people that I have personally tried to get into the game, like people who I was friends with outside of Star Citizen and stuff like that, none of them play anymore. They can't get past it. And I get it, like, because most of them are like me. They work and they have normal jobs and stuff like that. And like when they get home from work, they don't want to fight a game. Like they all agree, like it is insanely beautiful and what they're doing is cool. But you're like, hey, I want to get home and I want to go salvage, and then you get home and you go to salvage only to find out you hit like a server error, or you can't get the boxes off your ship, or it's not scraping right, or and so they don't play anymore. The only people I normally play with now are people who are like I met like playing Star Citizen. Yeah, I definitely agree though. But there's so much potential. It's just are they going to be able to see it through? I think is like the question on most people's minds. Like, okay, that's great that it's really pretty and everything, but are we going to get there? Like, how much longer before it's not a constant workaround? Like, how much longer? A year, 2 years, 3 years? And I think the problem is that every time we get a new patch, it breaks. I mean, like the game was decent before 4.8. I mean, it was decent. It was still a lot of the normal stuff, but it was decent. They're sleeping. I mean, I think that they released the first like hangar module in like what 2013, 2013, 2014 was that first hangar module. So 13 years, 14 years, I don't know. I mean, a long time. I've had it since 2016. I've had the game like I bought into the game, so it's 10 years I've owned it. Yeah. But again, like I play other stuff, so it doesn't bother me as much. You have an LTI pack. That's good. We don't know what LTI means yet, but it's good. Because we don't even know what the insurance is, because insurance really isn't fully into the game. We have like that tier 0 placeholder for insurance. 350R flight suit, yeah. I like the 350s. I like the 315P, the little I like that with the tractor beam on the nose. That's pretty cool. That style of ships, but that ship is outdated as well. Like it hasn't been updated in a long time. They need to go back and start really updating these things. Salvage. Let's see what we got. Oh, I would live. Can we get another Star Runner? Ugh, a Zeus. Oh, could do a Corsair. Where's that at? Arc L4. We can do that. You know what? Before we do that, let's grab some fuel so we don't have to deal with the fuel. I would really rather not deal with it. We'll see if we can land on a pad real fast. You enjoy it, bugs and all, and a lot of people do. Like the smaller bugs, I don't mind it. The only time I log out is like when I get to a point where I've server hopped a couple of times and I can't do what I want to do. Like a lot of people will just hop in, and if they can't do one thing, they'll go do another thing or whatever. They'll find what's working, which is perfectly fine. But it's like some evenings when I get home, I'm like, man, I want to do some salvaging, and if I can't do the salvage, I'll just bounce to another game for the evening. It's not that I don't sweat it too much anymore. Like I used to get kind of frustrated with it because it's like, okay, this is really expensive for us not to be able to do this, and then it's just like, eh, the money doesn't bother me anymore. Like none of it really bothers me anymore, to be honest. I'm just pretty chill about it lately. Yep, an F7CM, yeah. The only fighter that I have right now is the Gladius. I want the Super Hornet. You got the Tiburon? Oh, dude, I actually love the Tiburon. So I have a Perseus, and there was a moment where I actually thought about getting rid of the Perseus to get the Tiburon, just because I feel like the Tiburon with the firepower from the pilot seat is a little more It's a little more doable, but the Perseus with even 2 people on it is just insane. Like with those 2 size 8 ballistic guns. Yeah, my lady plays with me too. Jessica, she plays. Uh, she's if you look at some of the videos that I've done, like she's the one that's helping. Like I think the 9 mission cargo that I did from last week, she's the one helping me. She plays with me as well. She's my turret princess a lot of the times. Yeah, the Tiburon is a really cool ship. It really is. I think they, being it's a variant, I still think they did a really good job with it. Like they see what people like. I feel like with that particular ship, they saw what people were doing, and they just made a ship. I know like half the community hates this whole solo ship idea, but we were sold on the idea originally that we were going to be able to like hire NPC crews and all that stuff, and since that's not a reality, because I hate to tell like people, but there's so many more people who end up playing by themselves than that end up playing with a group all the time. And I think it's hard to see like, bigger streamers that have these big orgs and stuff and people are helping them all the time. I don't think that's the majority. I don't believe it's the majority of the people. I think most people have like play with like a very small group of people, 2 or 3 people. And I think they're just starting to like design the game more in that way. That's more doable with a smaller amount of people. While still trying to, give the big orgs the things that they need. I think they're doing all right with it. I think they're doing okay. If you're lucky. Yeah, look, I got on this morning. I just wanted to chill and do some salvage. There's nobody on that I normally play with right now. Just chilling. But it's very like, they gave me a ship that's very soloable. Even though it's a multi-crew ship, I can still handle it, and I think that's good. Because if they didn't have this, I probably wouldn't be playing with it. Yeah, see, and that's exactly the point I'm making. Like I think they're finally understanding that it's not these big gigantic groups that are trying to play together. A 4-player thing is a normal co-op gaming experience, You can probably go in with 2 people and be fine. It'd be more difficult, but I think it's fine. I mean, we all know how the NPCs are in Star Citizen, so they're either gonna be stumbling around or they're gonna be beaming you. So either way. Base building. I don't know if base building is going to be the org stuff or if it's going to be after that when we get the space stations, because the space stations that they showed were going to be the big final in-game org. I think base building is going to be okay. I think like I said, I think there are so many small groups and solo players that making base building like unattainable at certain levels for like the smaller groups, I think would really hurt the game. I think they need to pander a little more to the smaller groups, which I think they're already doing. I think they're going to do that. But I think the large orgs, the big groups of people, I think they deserve their place for sure. They need their big space stations. I don't think a small group should be able to automatically get a big gigantic space station. Like not right away like a big org could do. Like, it should take a small group twice as long as a big org to get that. But I don't think having that space station should give you like give an org an all, overpowering, force or anything like that. A small base on a mountaintop. You know, I think that's most of us. I actually, and that's not alone. I think that's like most of the community just wants their little spot to call home, to be able to land their ship, refine their material, drop off their salvage, be able to have multiple ships there and their little vehicles and stuff like that, and be able to decorate it and have it actually stay there. I think that's like the ultimate goal. I mean, I don't need satisfactory level of base building in Star Citizen. It doesn't have to be like that. I just want, a place to be able to design a little bit and make it my own. Hi, never watched you before, but interesting conversation. I think each game needs a little of both. Like cargo makes no sense to be multi-cruel. Salvaging is in a reclaimer. Yeah, but like the reclaimer, like I don't think they should make it where you need 4 players. Like if you have four players, it should be a benefit. But right now, multi-crew, you're punished for multi-crewing, right? Because it splits the profits and stuff between the group. So the reclaimer doesn't make enough money to justify having 4 people on board. You'll make less money with 4 people on a reclaimer than you will soloing a vulture. And until they figure out this balance of that type of stuff, especially with salvaging, it's just not gonna be there. They're not gonna go in that direction. And it's a big balance, because then they've got to figure out a way of punishing somebody who is soloing that reclaimer to not be able to make quadruple the amount in the same amount of time, because then you're right back to, okay, now everybody's going to solo the reclaimer again. There's this like delicate balance between all of that. Well, that's just it. It's not going to work, right? I think they're going to have to, like, initially, I think they're going to have to make it where you end up back in the same server, or whatever server you built your base in is going to, like, take priority. And that begs to wonder whether you're going to be able to... Base building is going to come before or after the new server technology, right? The dynamic server meshing. Will they need dynamic to be able to do base building? I think I got it all, right? Oh, no. I did not. Almost left 6 SCU behind. You make less money. Yeah, exactly. 1 to 2 in the reclaimer and maybe 1 to 2 in an ironclad to fly. Yeah. And in that situation that you're talking about, like, the logistics, having good logistics should benefit you, right? Like, having somebody be able to fly the ironclad to drop off while you continue salvaging, that should benefit the group. But does it right now? I don't think it does right now. I don't think it's balanced enough. Versus me just doing this solo, I can make more money than... The only thing in salvaging right now that's beneficial is, like, 2 people in a reclaimer, even splitting the profits, is pretty much king of the salvage world currently. Like, you can solo it, but having the second person moving the cargo into the ironclad when you drop it off, the amount of time it saves is worth the loss in profit for a solo person. Is it needed? No. A little more time and you can make it, but that's just the thing. Then you have to incorporate, like, how long it takes to refine right now. Like, if you start incorporating that time in, like, I don't really factor in the refining time when I'm doing something, because it's just going to sit there and you're going to get it regardless. Bum, yes, exactly. You're exactly right. Like, the fix for the reclaimer, so, like, somebody that was a dev, not a CIG dev, but somebody that I was talking to that was a dev, was kind of explaining probably the way the ship design works. Like, the way the ships are built differently now, like, there's more pieces to them, and then back then the pieces that they used were, like, bigger. So, like, modifying, like, it's easier to modify them now than it is to modify, like, the older ships. So, like, it would be simple, right? You're just thinking, hey, those cargo decks, let's just open those cargo decks completely open. Or hey, let's just throw a door on the back where a little elevator goes down, that big wall in the back. Just throw a door right there, right? Would like solve the whole reclaimer problem of the cargo. But they don't, but there's got to be something with the design of the ship that stops them from doing that. Everything is time versus money. Yeah, to an extent. I don't know that I consider the refining time though, right? I don't. Do you consider the refining time part of the time per money? Because you're gonna get it. My time stops when I hit the refinery button. Because where I drop my salvage stuff off, I can actually sell it there. Which again comes back to time is money, right? Like Arc L1 is where I sell everything. But it's also where I drop it off at, because the time it takes to go somewhere to sell it for like 1,000 more isn't worth my time. Time, money, labor. No. Bomb. Bumkata, no, not really. So I'll show you the rep real fast. I'll show you guys the rep. So this is the salvage rep right here. This first one, Adagio. So once I made it to here, I got nothing changed between the missions when I made veteran. Nothing. Same missions, same rep, same everything. And I've been sitting here for a while. Like I'd probably have to do 100 missions to get this up. And then with the missions, these just don't give you enough rep and the time it takes to get, like, if they would remove this crap with the powers and the coolers and just do construction materials and recycle materials, which is what most of us want to do anyways. If they would just do this, it would be like so beneficial. Like I don't want to do this with this. Like I want one or the other. Like that's fine if they have a couple of missions that are like this combined, so it makes you do everything, but I just want to drop RMC off. I just want to drop construction materials off at a certain location, or both at the same time. I'm fine with both. But for whatever reason, this is permanent. These are the only two missions that you get. Now there's a couple different ones, you know, like if you go to Pyro, for example, they're a little bit different and they pay a little more, but I can assure you it's not worth the time and the rep for this. USSR theme place. Well, I mean, there's big ships. I mean, you have a Crusader M2. I mean, that's big. It takes the Reclaimer to crack this. But if you're talking about big ships like a Polaris or an Idris or something like that, no, you don't get any of those. You get Hammerheads. The biggest ship that you get is an 890 jump, which has 1,500 SCU of CMAT. But you can't take the 1,500 because the ship only fractures into one piece. So you can only take what your ship buffer holds. So in a Reclaimer, you only get 240 off of that whole 890, which is a 1,500, which is, it's silly. It's silly. Like at the most, they should break it into 2 or 3 pieces. Like the Hammerhead, which is right here, that'll fill your ship up, but I can't take this because I can't fracture it with a Moth. And I can't fracture this in a Moth. I have to have the Reclaimer for it. Do the turn-in missions give you more rep? Not enough. Not enough to justify the time doing them, no. Because you can do 4 of these missions. Because these missions give you the same rep. So it doesn't matter if it's a 300, it doesn't matter if it's a 20 or a 10. These have been giving you the same amount of rep. So you can chain these missions together at a location like Arc L3, Arc L3. You see these 2 missions? They're both at Arc L3, so you can get double the rep from just these 2 missions versus trying to do like one of these. So in my case, I can take that Retaliator, and then let's see what. And then I can take a Zeus. So both of these missions are at Arc L5. So I could get them. I mean, remember, I'm just doing CMAT right now. Like, I mean, if you want to maximize time and profits, you can take out components and dismantle them. You can take weapons, which is a big money weight maker, taking the weapons off. You can take the weapons off. You can dismantle them. You can scrape it, and you can do the CMAT to maximize all your profits. Yes, correct. On the, if you pay 20K, yeah, it's the same rep. Or it was. I don't know if they changed it in 4.8.3. In 4.8.2, it was giving me the same amount of rep. And I don't imagine they changed it. Now, 4.9, I do not know about 4.9. I have not tested anything in 4.9 further than just testing like the basics of salvaging. I need to do like some math on that and see if it's giving the same rep. Bum, do you think it makes sense on the Moth you keep having to get up to go to the cargo crafters to work? It's not the worst, but no, it should auto eject. What I want is, like, do y'all know how the salvation is where you have the panel by the cockpit? Like, I want that for every ship. Like, I should be able to sit here in the seat, and in my MFD, I should be able to get to it, and I should be able to select like 1 or 2, so I can select which panel I want, and I should be able to go up like right here and click eject, or like it should be a split screen with the 2 panels there, and I should be able to eject from here, I think. But is it a pain to get up? And it's not that bad. I don't mind it. I mean, we have to give and take some. All right, let's go fly to this. So both of these missions are Arc L5. So we'll grab these 2. Brian, that is a very good question. We just were talking about that earlier. I have not tested that yet. It is on my, I literally wrote it down. It is on my to-do list for this week to figure that out. So I don't know if I'm going to do it. I may do like, maybe I'll try to do a stream like Tuesday or something like that with in 4.9, just checking that out. Or I might just do a video on it. The video might just be better. I'm not sure. Yeah, but does doing that mean it's multi-crew? Because it's on the Reclaimer, it makes sense. Yeah. Like I said, I think the Reclaimer is a great 1 to 2 person ship. But you guys got to keep in mind, like, we're missing, like, the Reclaimer as a ship is missing so much of its gameplay. Like, the entire ship was also designed around drones, right? Like, the Reclaimer actually has a drone bay. So, like, all this stuff, like, with scanning, like, it has scanning consoles that are just for scanning. Like, there's so much that I think they intended salvage to be that we're not anywhere close to that yet. Like, if we ever got to where we could use, like, you have 2 people, because that would be 2 people, extra crew members that are sitting at the drones and using the drones for stuff. Now, what would the drones do? I don't know. Like, I always thought it was going to be something. This is where I thought the Reclaimer was going to go eventually. I thought it would be where, like, you would fracture the ships and stuff like that, and there would be pieces that it broke into, and you would use the drones to go collect those pieces and bring it back to, like, the Claw or something like that. But I have no idea what direction it's going to go to. I have no idea if one day the Reclaimer will just kind of get mothballed and they'll come out with a Mark II, or they'll just come out with another capital salvage ship, which I think is what's going to happen. I think they're going to come out with a new capital ship for salvaging. That's what I think they'll do first, because they can design the ship from scratch and it'll be faster than trying to go back and fix the reclaimer. Just kind of like they did with the, what do you call it? Like the Aurora. I think that's going to be like the future of the ships. You'll just have these like, like collector ships, like, hey, this was the original Salvager in Star Citizen and I had it, or I have it, or whatever the case is. I really hope they rework the reclaimer. Yeah. Yep, yep. It was supposed to. Yes. Originally, it was supposed to be able to refine as well. It was supposed to have an onboard refinery. I don't think we're going to get that. I do not see them putting an onboard refinery on the reclaimer at all. It really sucks, but I just don't think they're going to do that. The reason why is, I think, because of the way the gameplay works right now, right? I don't think they're going to be able to do it again without modifying the ship. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that they're going to do a Mark II. I don't think so. I think I don't think they're going to do a whole lot with the reclaimer. I think you're going to get a whole new ship first. That's not to say that maybe like one day, like after 1.0, they might somehow go back and start working on these older ships. The the Arastra? The Arastra is a mining ship. That's not a salvage ship. Now, that's not to say that because they're doing all these variants now, that's not to say that they might do a salvage version of the Arastra. They absolutely could do it. And let me tell you, if they did, I would have that in my hangar. I can promise you that. That would, because I love the way the ship looks. And being that the mining heads work just like the salvage head, it's an easy fix. It's an easy mod for it. I would love to see a salvage variant of that. And I think it would make a ton of money for the company. Oh, I mean, the company is 100% profit driven. They're money driven and marketing driven. 100%. People get so mad about like some of the things they do, and I get it because they're like, it's a game or whatever like that. But I mean, listen, have you ever been to a car dealer lately? Have you ever tried to go buy a new car? I mean, just walk into any store. Like, it's all marketing. It's all manipulation. $1.99. Come on, it's $2. It's just manipulation because $1.99 looks smaller than if they put $2. And marketing trends show that people will buy it 50% more if it says $1.99 versus that they add that 1 penny. It's all a manipulation to make that number look smaller than it is. It's, I mean, on a daily basis in real life, we're fought with that. It's not just CIG though. Are they bad about it with it being a game? Yeah, it's probably one of the worst when it comes to marketing. I'll say that. But I'm sure they have an entire team of analysts that are doing nothing but saying, hey, this ship, the way this was done, sold better because of this. Like, I'm sure they have charts and graphs. I do a lot of that at work. My IRL job, you know. You weren't happy with the Moth? Yeah, like, the Moth is fine for CMAT, but I would never use this ship to scrape. Yeah, we're gonna see what they do. I mean, obviously, despite what you see on the negativity of the game everywhere, like on Reddit and on Spectrum, people aren't that upset about it because they're still making millions and millions and millions. I mean, despite people, they're not unhappy enough to not buy ships. Let me put it like that. So right now, the community as a whole is okay with the game, with what they're doing. If they really start getting so nasty, people will stop buying ships. I haven't bought a ship this year. I've moved some stuff around with store credit, but I haven't paid any real money at all this year for any ships. The only ship that I have on my radar is the Galaxy, and that hinges on what they do with refining. I don't, because if they don't find or do the refinery correctly, I won't be picking that ship up because I don't need a cargo ship. I mean, I love the Galaxy the way it looks. I think it's an amazing ship, but I just won't. It would just sit in my hangar. Okay, we got that one. Let's go eject this stuff real fast. Wait, is the ship full? Dang it. I hate that when you don't go close enough to the wall. They really need to mess with the sensitivity on that. Here you are in an org of 250 people, and we got a fleet yard. Oh my god, 138k worth of ships. That's insane. Isn't that insane to think about? And you got to think about it. Like GTA 6, like the biggest package is like $100. Oh my, I mean, it's just crazy. Like now when I go to buy a game, it's really funny because like now when I go buy a game, I'm like, well, it's less than a Star Citizenship, and that's how I justify doing a different game. Yeah, okay, this is what I'm talking about, guy. So apparently I've got like a ghost box because it's not, you see, it's not ejecting that last box out. Let me try this one more time. Why is it not ejecting? Continue ejecting. I got one more spot. Come on. Okay. Good enough. Good enough. Where are we at? Okay, we're good. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go take this to Arc L1, and then I should be able to eject from there. Let's go map. Let's go Arc L1. Quick little jump. Yeah, the amount of money, like, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, the amount of money they've been able to charge for stuff and get people to pay for is just, I mean, it's mind blowing. Like, so I have a fleet, right? But like streaming a little bit, and I use it, like the stuff that I buy is specifically to help with like the channel and like for informational stuff. Like I don't buy the stuff that I really want. Like at one point I was like, man, I would love to have a Polaris because like the capital ship, like right, standing on the bridge and stuff like that, the feeling of it. But I don't normally do that because like I you know, for me, like it was better for me to grab a Moth so that I could have it immediately with patches to do videos and stuff like that with, which is, I find a lot more fun doing that kind of stuff. But with that said, were it not for the channel, I would not have anything more than a $45 starter package. That's what I would have. I wouldn't have anything. Like Jess plays with me all the time. She plays with me, but she just has the basic. She's a cutter. She's a basic starter package. She doesn't have any ships. She didn't really need it anyways because she doesn't play unless I'm playing and when we're together. But yeah, I just tell people that all the time. I think the starter package price, a $45 price, is worth it for anybody who loves space and sci-fi and stuff like that. Like if you're a sci-fi junkie like I am, I think $45 is fine to hop in here. Like yeah, this game gets bad at times, but the enjoyment that I have and the people that I have met like playing this is like unrivaled from any other game that I've played, especially like MMOs. Like I feel like you go through some stuff with people trying to play this game, I guess. It's like a almost like a support group. It's funny, we laugh, but it's kind of true, you know. But for me, I'm gonna see like Star Citizen. I'm gonna see it through to the end. Like it's either gonna. I say this all the time. Like I hope it's the best space game ever, and I think it's gonna end up as probably one of the most epic space game sci-fi adventures you could ever have in gaming. Or it's gonna probably end up going down as the biggest scam in history. Either way, I'm gonna stick around for it. We're gonna see where the train takes us. And of course, from my side, because I'm such a sci-fi junkie and stuff like that, I obviously hope for the best. But yeah, there was a time when I got a few, you know, I made some videos, I was like super frustrated with it, and then I just jumped back to my normal habit of, hey, let's play some, you know, let's play some more games and stuff like that, and some different games, and it worked out. I feel better than trying to like fight this every single day. 100% if you could do it all over again, that's what. Guess what my starter package is? I had a Mustang and I upgraded my Mustang to a Titan, and that's where I would sit. So it'd be $60, the normal price of a regular game. Well, back when I bought it, it was the normal price of a regular game. But yeah, I agree. That's exactly where I would be as well. And I can make enough because one of the biggest money makers right now is doing the ghillie missions, the ghillie flight missions. And I can do, I think, all the way to level 6 in the Titan combat. Throw you some deadbolts, upgrade the shields, you're good to go. Maybe the power plant. All right, guys, for this one, because I don't want to lose what's in the buffer, because I still have 64 SCU in the buffer, I'm going to put these on the freight elevator this time. We are going to throw these on the freight elevator. And Zen, by the way, thank you for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. On Twitch, thank you. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, let's throw some of these over here. Why is my box? Come on, box. Come on, box. All right, let's stack some of these. I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to lose what's on the in the buffer. Hopefully this allows me to clear the buffer. Getting these off, we're gonna find out. I'm definitely gonna test this this week in 4.9. This is definitely a really good test. I don't even know, is 4.9 like open PTU now? Or is it still like wave 1 or... Stop. Teleporting box. Alright. Let's throw some of this on. I do like this with the moth, with the, like, the medium hanger, you know? Like... Okay. Let's be... Before I forget, because I forget if I run to the other side, I forget by the time I come back over here. We're going to go ahead and send this down. Okay. We'll call that back up for when we get to the other side. And we eject these boxes. I think I'm going to eject the boxes just on one side, though. I think that would make a lot more sense. I have no idea why it didn't eject that last box out. Because this is a new ship, too. Like, I destructed the other ship. So I'm really curious why it didn't eject. Somebody said that the auto eject is making it do it, so maybe not doing the auto eject and just hitting the eject button every time, which is what I had been doing before and didn't have any issues. I think that might be the remedy for this, is not doing auto eject, just clicking eject on each box. All right. Let's get these last couple of boxes off. Then we need to go clear the buffer. See, I wish, like it didn't do, like, the blocked thing. I wish the blocked thing would go away. And it would auto-eject the boxes if, once it's clear, you know what I mean? But I think that's asking a lot. I mean, I feel like that could be a potential breaking point. I'd rather it be a little more difficult in work than to add something else game-breaking to it. Man, recently I keybind one of my mouse button to just push, and the box just comes to me. Like, I don't have to scroll. Oh my god. That was a lifesaver. Here, let me go ahead and send these down before I forget, because I will forget. There's nothing worse than running all the way to the thing to realize, oh, I didn't send my elevator down. We've all done it. We've all done it. Oh my god. They've got to fix that. Like, you've got to, like, basically be on the wall. Oh, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. I'm going to the wrong dang place anyways. Okay. Continue. See? Okay, so it's... So how do I get that out? Interesting. Interesting. What if I store the ship and bring the ship back up, does it work? Does that clear it? Do any of you guys know a workaround for that? Or a fix for that? I can't say I've actually had that issue before. I think maybe store it. Maybe if I store it and bring it back up.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
Let's try this. Okie dokie.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
So now we'll call it back up. Let's see if that fixes it. It resets the buffer. It may. Because the ship despawns and spawns back in the hangar. And currently we're going to go ahead and contracts. We will go ahead and abandon that. Okay. Oh. Hey. A box. So the box was there. It was just a ghost box, apparently. Okay. Did this one spawn in too on the other side? Oh, it did. So it was full. That box was just... Okay. Alright. So now that that's off, we should be... Okay. That was interesting that it was a... That is so weird. And now the lights are on inside. And now there's only 40 out of the 64. Okay, this is fun. So we'll just... That's the right side of the ship. We'll just do over here. Ah, it doesn't matter. Let's get it. Let's get them both going so we don't have to wait. I don't like waiting. We've waited enough. Oh, let me fix this too, by the way. I need to fix this. All right. Going down. Going down. This teleportation of the boxes has been driving me crazy lately. Have you guys been experiencing this? Like the boxes like teleporting back like really bad? Like they've always done it to an extent, but not as bad as it's been like lately. Again, I think that's just another 4.8 thing going on right now, hopefully. I hope. So we made a pretty good run here. So let's okay, that's 4. That should be it. Let's send this down. Okay, let's move this over. And that should be it. Because there's only 40 left on the ship. Okay. Okay, so let's send that down. Okay, we are good. We are going to store... Going to store our... Wait, where's that? Store our lovely moth. And then we are going to go see what we get from the refinery. Let's pray that it reads from the inventory. Okay, let's go to the lobby. I don't know why I was scrolling there. I really cannot wait to start playing more 4.9 with the new panels and stuff. I know it's something so small, but it's so appreciated. Let's go to the refinery. It's super loud in here. As it should be, as it should be. Okay, let's go to the refinement center. We got one going, which is great. Okay, moment of truth. We got it. All right. Let's refine. Let's refine it all. Let's just go Dynex. $168. That doesn't seem right. That's not all of them. That was more than 168, and this is something that was I did like earlier. 33 and 9. That's not bad. Yeah, this seems... I don't know. This seems like a low. Maybe it wasn't because I didn't have the elevator filled and I didn't have the buffer completely full. So I guess not, because I was missing 2 boxes on each side. So I guess that's about right. Okay. And that is our 2 runs from today. That wasn't too bad. Should make some pretty good money. I mean, I got 38, 30, 38, and 33. So if we do like some quick, like just basic math on that. Let's see if I can pull this up on the different screen here. Some basic math would be... So that's about 852 minus about 140. For the contracts that I took. So about 700, well, probably closer to 750, 750K for those salvage runs. And the Moth, that's not bad. Not to mention it was pretty chill, so, you know, not too bad at all. Let's make it back to... hangar and hab. Let's get to somewhere quiet. Some quiet area. But I think that is going to be the end of our salvage ops for the stream, guys. Hey, thank you guys that were on Twitch, that did the follows on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Been working on that a little bit lately. So if you're following on YouTube and you do have Twitch, it's the same name. If you don't mind hopping over and giving a quick follow on Twitch, that would really be appreciated. And thank you for all you YouTube people. Very much appreciated. Thanks for everybody who chatted today. Vegas, Bumkata, Brian, all you guys. Zen, Inventory Management, appreciate you guys. Sid, yeah, obviously can't go through here and name everybody, but I just really appreciate you guys. Thanks for a fun stream today, a fun chill one. Had some cool conversations about salvaging and really enjoyed that. So, yep, we're gonna take it here. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great Sunday.